Thank you.
In a rapidly changing world, leadership is increasingly being redefined beyond authority and personal success. Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action described in Bhagavad Gita, emphasizes performing one's duty with excellence, integrity and dedication while remaining unattached to personal rewards. Such an approach fosters purpose-driven leadership rooted in service, resilience and ethical responsibility. The topic of panel discussion explores whether the principle of Karma Yoga can inspire a new model of leadership that prioritizes collective well-being alongside organizational success. So let's have a panel discussion on the topic, can Karma Yoga be the new leadership style?
I am feeling immensely happy in introducing the incredible learned personality, Riehl from France. He is a master of Nidra Yoga and Kashmir Shaiva Tantra. He is a student of yoga since 1972. He first stayed in a monastery in the Himalayas and met many traditional masters studying extremely specific teachings of classical as well as tantric yoga practices. After some years of searching, meeting with Kashmiri Babu, an ascetic from the Shaiva tradition, he underwent a retreat of deep study into the spiritual quest. Also, very touched by his meetings with J. Krishnamurti and Sri Anand Mahima, he studied further important aspects of the inner path. It was the final encounter with Chandra Swami, an ascetic from the Brahmanic lineage of the Udasins, which would give a full understanding of all the teachings studied before. He has been teaching Mantra Yoga, Pran Kriya and Swadhyay. He is a Nidra Yoga instructor for the past 20 years across 5 continents. He is a board member of the European Union of Yoga, founder of Nidra Consciousness, founder member of Indian Yoga Association and director of Nidra Study Centers across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Riehl.
It is a great pleasure to warmly welcome Ms. Jessica Ranjit, a dedicated yoga educator, astrologer and compassionate guide on the path of self-discovery and spiritual growth. With a rich academic background in psychology and philosophy, she beautifully integrates the transformative wisdom of yoga with the profound insight of karmic astrology, helping individuals cultivate inner harmony and spiritual freedom. Having practiced yoga since 2000 and taught since 2016, alongside more than 35 years of immersion in astrology, Jessica brings remarkable depth and authenticity to her work. Now based on Australia's mid-north coast, she continues to touch lives across the globe. Ms. Ranjit embodies wisdom, intuition, empathy, and a sincere commitment to awakening consciousness and guiding others towards purposeful living. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Jessica Ranjit. It is a great pleasure to extend a heartfelt welcome to Ms. Jaymala Sharma, founder and director of Laya Wellness Group and the inspiring force behind 2 Flourish Yoga communities in Melbourne, Laya Yoga Point Cook and Westside Yoga Sidon. With over 17 years of teaching experience across India and Australia, she has devoted her life to sharing the transformative power of yoga through a compassionate, inclusive and empowering approach. Rooted in the timeless values imparted by her grandfather in Rajasthan, her teachings seamlessly blends yogic philosophy, anatomy, alignment and scientific understanding, enabling students to experience yoga as both a profound tradition and a practical path to well-being. A senior registered teacher with Yoga Australia, Jaymala has also designed wellness programs for corporates, government bodies and professional institutions while facilitating retreats and heritage-based experiences internationally. Holding a master's degree in human resource and finance, alongside 2,000 plus hours of advanced yoga training, she exemplifies grace, wisdom and lifelong dedication to holistic well-being. Her nurturing spirit, authenticity and unwavering commitment to universal consciousness continues to inspire countless individuals across the globe. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Jaymala Sharma. It is a great pleasure to warmly welcome Mr. Tamblyn Lord, a highly respected mindfulness and yoga teacher whose inspiring journey has touched countless lives since 2003. Currently based in Melbourne, Australia, he lives and serves as a senior level instructor and teacher training facilitator, sharing his expertise through public classes at Yoga Flame and Yoga Spot, as well as through private sessions, workshops and international teachers training programs. Beyond Yoga, Tamblyn brings a rich creative dimension to his work through his experience in acting and voice performance, along with his passion for hiking and photography. Guided by his uplifting life motto, life should be enjoyed, not endured. He encourages others to embrace joy, presence, authenticity. Mr. Lords embodies wisdom, warmth, creativity, and genuine commitment to helping individuals cultivate balance, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for life's journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Tamblyn Lord. We are honored to welcome and introduce Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, an internationally recognized scholar, writer, and management consultant with an extraordinary commitment to global well-being. Nominated by UCIWY20 under G20 as the international coordinator for the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam initiative, he has addressed the United Nations headquarters in Geneva on the International Day of Conscience. In June 2023, he served as the global convener for the World Yoga Summit in Germany and is also the international coordinator for ICCR-nominated Global Conference on the Holistic Yoga Beyond Physiology 2023. He is one of the most sought-after speakers across India. His work has impacted over 3 lakh beneficiaries across 120 countries, including cabinet ministers, bureaucrats, defense, corporate professionals. He convenes United Consciousness Global, aiming to develop the world's first integrated manual for humanity, leads Project Self USA to promote scientific aspects of ancient Indian philosophy, sits on the board of European Yoga Federation in Italy, and oversees the spiritual healing in Africa through the Spiritual Council. He additionally founded, with an academic background spanning business management, journalism, public administration, philosophy, and yoga. Dr. Tomar's prolific writing, including Rule the World as Krishna Did, continue to inspire countless individuals worldwide. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar.
Namaste and respected Andre ji. Jessica ji, namaste, namaste, Tamblyn ji and Jaymala ji. Wonderful day, wonderful topic, and 3 continents together to talk about one important topic called Can Karma Yoga be the new leadership style? Karma Yoga, which is deeply engraved in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, teachings of Upanishad, and various scriptural teachings across India and Indian subcontinent. The glimpses of Karma Yoga can also be seen in all other scriptures of various traditions. May it be Buddhism, may it be Jainism, may it be Islam, may it be Christianity, in various formats, if not with the same name. Perfect. Is everybody able to listen to me? Can you thumb up? Perfect.
Yeah, we hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. So we'll go and we'll start with Yogi Andreji. Andreji, we are going to talk about Karma Yoga. So would you like to define what is Karma Yoga? Oft-used word, so that we will be going with that definition and all the definitions together. Please go ahead.
Okay. Are you ready to follow this definition? So, unfortunately, it is quite often understood as physical action.
Mm-hmm.
And what is forgotten is that physical action comes from mental action, from the mind. So definition could be, what is the action of the mind? I mean, it is a question, but not to reduce this, what has been reduced so often since years and years and years, karma, to physical action. Physical action is the outcome of what's going on in the mind. So when we are talking about how could karma yoga, to a certain extent, change the physical movement of the world, it means, can the mind be quiet? Because one of the big points in Patanjali, for example, talking about the mind, or yoga, as we're talking about karma yoga, is yoga is a state where the mind is quiet. So it comes to, can there be a karma yoga in the mind so that it becomes quiet? And from this quietness, maybe clever and affection and full of affection, physical action could be taken. Because we see easily that since centuries and millennia, in this world, all the people who have claimed being leaders have made this world a havoc. So I don't think we have to count on this, what we call leaders. But the question is, how can the mind be quiet so that action will bring a happy life to the whole mankind?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andreji, for properly defining it. He said that Karma Yoga is not only about act, it is about every thought, every feeling that you have inside your mind, and whatever you think, feel, becomes your speech and your act. And if your think and feeling are not quite, your action cannot be good, and that's why it will not lead to happiness. Jessica ji, you have been working with many corporates, and you mentioned about with UN too. So how do we define conventional leadership, and how is it different from when you talk about karma yoga?
The way I see it is quite different. There are obviously some pretty incredible leaders on the world stage in various places. But just listening to that beautiful definition of karma yoga, I can't help but think that when our entire being, our will is in alignment with divine will, then that is when karma yoga happens. And I do remember back in my old incarnation in that world, often thinking to myself, if only these leaders practice more yoga, if they practice more yoga, things would be very different. So yeah, I do see that there is a big difference between those two, and it's up to us, it's up to all of us to merge these two different leaderships, and we probably need a lot more of the karma yoga leadership, where our own will is in alignment with the divine will. Yeah.
Thank you. So she said, gently, 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 go down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Just go along with the divine will. And that is called karma yoga. We have Tamblyn ji. Tamblyn ji, the question is simple. How leadership defined traditionally is different from karma yoga? Or conventional leadership, how it is different from karma yoga?
Well, the conventional leadership that we have is led by power, and power corrupts, whereas karma is actually detaching from any sense of ego and self-identification for the good of others, both physically and energetically. So if we didn't have that sense of power play within our hierarchy, we may actually be able to appreciate the value of community within ourselves as well. So there's a lot of distrust at the moment as well, of course, and when you can't trust those that are there supposedly leading the way, then you turn to trust in a smaller group within yourself and within your tighter community. But that also means that you're isolating as well, because we then have this fear instilled in us of, my God is better than your God. I'm doing right, you're doing wrong. Whereas the community doesn't have to be so microscopic, as suggested. The micro and the macro should be actually appreciated as one and the same thing. And when we're in a karmic yoga space, then we're appreciating that those balances of self and community are have no boundaries. But the attachment to the attraction and the material wealth that you can get from power is all about projecting onto other people for the sense of ego, rather than self-empowerment, which is our connection to the divine.
Thank you. So he mentioned that the power, distrust, win, lose, holier than thou are some of the characteristics often seen in conventional leadership, whereas yoga is detaching from ego, trust, and win-win kind of situation. Jaymala ji is there with us. Jaymala ji, he talked about, Tamblyn ji talked about detachment. This is an important aspect of the doctrine or the principles of karma yoga, to detach from the outcomes. Now, for a common understanding in corporates, we work for results. We are not interested in activity, we are interested in productivity. And we are gross domestic machines. So, as Jessica ji mentioned, how can I not talk about results? I will be attached with the results. What's your take on that?
Yeah, rightly said. In corporates, there's no other language which is being understood. It's like how much productivity and where we are reaching. But with the practices empowered and integrated in yoga, we remember that action is just one of the means which allow us to which allow us to move forward, and its purpose is that much. We are only entitled for action, not with the results of action. The moment we think about the goal, our intentions and the way we offer ourselves into the action changes. So inherently, if we think about goal, where we need to reach, it is actually demotivating us. In a real sense, if you sit with how it is feeling in your body when you're thinking about goal, is so different when you have this playful awareness of moving with the flow.
Okay, thank you. So Jessica ji, Jaymala ji mentioned that let's focus on what is means, and action is just a means towards an end, and you cannot control the end, control the controllables. We have Yogi Andre ji, your take on this. If I am not attached to the results, I doubt results may not come. Every meeting, I need to write results in front of my board, and then I will start the meeting. And after the meeting is over, again, I will talk about results. It's do versus deliver. Not interested what you do. I'm interested in what you deliver in results and how I cannot be attached with it.
So, what is the goal of this meeting right now? You started it. So what is the goal? And is there a goal? When we're talking about putting together with the divine will, we can question, as the divine, does it has a will? Are we serious when we're saying this? As the divine a will? And going back to human mind, as the mind a will? So is there a state where we can risk to be without future? Because when we're talking about consequences, we're talking about future. So is there a state where there is no future? Is there a natural state where there is no future? We all know that thinking is born out of time, or time is born out of thinking. We don't know precisely which one is the first. Maybe they're just the same. Thinking is time. And it's about whenever we have a goal, we work in time. And it's very easy to witness when looking at the human history that once again, we've made the world as a havoc. We have never been very successful as a whole mankind because we're working in time with a goal. And also what goes with goal is expectation to be successful. And being successful means you need losers. And as in any, I think we can say competition, if it works well, there is one winner and there are many, many, many losers, millions of people, because there is a goal, because there is time, because we think karma is going on through this idea of consequences. So can we stop that?
Perfect. So, Andreji, you raised, though it was your dharma in this panel discussion to give answers, but you raised very pertinent questions too, along with your answers. So, I will come back to your questions to you only in couple of moments. But before that, I'll go to Jessica ji. Jessica ji, Andreji said, does divine has a will? So, would you like to elaborate upon when you said that my will be in line with the divine will? Would you like to elaborate? What do you mean by that divine will?
Such a great question, because I guess from the perspective that I've grown into, it's that the divine is life affirming. It wants to expand and experience everything. And it doesn't have an ego from which to want. But I feel as though when I talk about aligning personal will with divine will, to me, that means aligning myself with, it is this karma yoga that we're talking about, and my dharma, doing what I know in my heart is right for me and for all beings, and moving with courage into that, even if that might have some challenges, knowing that in my heart, I'm doing the right thing. And I feel as though that is when you come into alignment with divinity. And I also believe that that is why these two types of leaderships that we're discussing maybe in polar opposition, because courage is required. And there's just, they're quite different. So yeah, I hope that answered your question about that alignment.
Thank you very much. So Jessica ji mentioned when I talked about divine will, I actually mean the inner conscience, the one that resides in everybody's heart, as Bhagavad Gita says, life affirming, that makes us sentient And she said, one who is without ego and without vasanas, as defined, Ishvara is defined in Yoga Sutra. Perfect. We'll come back to you, Jessica ji, for this answer. We have Tamblyn ji. Tamblyn ji, you mentioned about power corrupts, and you said detach from ego. See, I am the boss. And what is the full form of job? Job is just obey boss, period. This is a balance sheet. I want my balance sheet to be positive. These empires cannot run. Everything needs money. And if one who will not produce money to me, I will sack him out because I'm answerable. And that's why I am the boss. My will be done. How will I be detached from the ego now?
You can't necessarily control the work environment, but you can control your own environment within. And if you, as best you can, you lean into a space that is much more sattvic, so that when the times that you come to be in a space that is a lot overstimulating and overwhelming at times, you have in reserve that experience to be able to draw on that sattvic space. And that comes from discipline and from practice as well, but being open to change and being open to things being in a state of flux. And karma yoga on its own is a wonderful concept, but we also have to bring in the appreciation of jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, so that we have an appreciation of ourself and of our self-inquiry, devotion, and a sense of surrendering to the experience rather than having to control it. And the raja aspect of yoga, of having the mental discipline of being able to apply yourself in a way that I love within Taoism of UCIWY, which is where you apply just enough effort, no more or no less. But if we let ourselves be drawn into overextending ourselves and having to meet bottom lines or profit margins, we're not looking after ourselves within respect of those four yogas. So there's an onus on the individual to be able to recognize when that you are being put upon, but also a recognition that you can support yourself by experiencing other aspects of what yoga has to offer. And if we can do that, then potentially we're not going to be at this fight or flight kind of level where we're being drawn so overstimulated to be driven by our boss's needs, and where that's our ego under fear or under threat. But by having some disciplines to look after ourselves, we can appreciate our ahamkara, which is that ego looking within and not being so defined by the external processes. And if you can be in a sattvic work environment, then rather than just being in a space where you're reacting to everything around you, perhaps you feel you can have a sense of investment within that. That's the ideal kind of work environment is where there's a calm.
As he mentioned that, yes, you can't control the work environment, start controlling yourselves. The journey begins with self, and that journey starts with karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raj yoga. That once you search inside, things will evolve. When he was talking about, Tamlinji was talking about jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, raj yoga, related to these, one more concept of karma yoga emerges out of this amalgamation, that is called servant leadership. Nice guys finish last. Servant leadership. So what's your take on this, Jaymala ji? If I am boss, how can I be servant?
You're recognizing...
Yeah. So being of service is inherently every human's desire. We take this life based on the seed, the causal body. We take this life, and this life is taken to move forward in our journey to come back to consciousness. And if that consciousness is through coming into this world, we are here with everyone else to serve. And that is the primary purpose of any life. And we are the happiest when we are of service to others. All the other times we are into state of scarcity, separation, you and me, and that creates furthermore human emotions and we are so much dug into those that we are not able to lift ourselves. So when we connect to the purpose of our life, which is the intention that everybody, as it is, in yoga philosophy, we remember that the seed cause to come here is to experience the Leela and experience this Maya and everything that comes with the Maya, the suffering, the joy, the connection, the all the human emotions. And when we understand that we are here with each other, it's collective. And only way to experience this collective is to serve.
Thank you. So you said that we are here to serve. Bhagavad Gita also says, Krishna says, Loka Sangraha, do with for the good of everybody, and that's why I was incarnated. But as Andre ji mentioned also, that we failed. As a world, we failed. We made, as Jessica ji mentioned, 17 SDGs. All SDGs are sustainable, to serve, to contribute. And what happened in Agenda 2030? When we reflect after 8 years, whole as a world, our mark sheet is we failed. In many of the places, we deteriorated. So the point here again comes is, Andre ji, now, this is the last round of discussion. Give us 2 practical executionable things to act for any common being if he wants to start his journey towards karma yoga, from where one should start, whether the person is existing leader or going to be leader. 2 simple things which I can start doing.
I think one is enough. Which is forget any goal. Even in yoga, when people say we have to be egoless, forget about it. This is still a goal. And regarding leaders, the only thing we could say is leave it. Forget being a leader. That is, forget to identify ourselves to anything. Because the only fact of identification will bring a goal. Be nobody. This is the second, because you wanted to.
Thank you. These are the things I love you so much, Andrew-ji. Having you on panel always excites me, because you never know what is going to come as answer. You can't even predict. So, Jessica ji, your take on that. You mentioned about Ishvara within. Fine. That was profound. 2 practical tips. I want to start my leadership journey as a karma yogi. What should I do?
I will also be a rebel, like Andre G, and take 3. And it's from the sutras, Tapaha Svadhyaya Ishvara Pranitana. I want to know myself so that I can put in right effort, devotion, discipline to whatever the cause is, and surrender the outcomes to divinity. Yeah.
Nice. Kriya Yoga is defined in Yoga Sutra, or is Karma Yoga too at the same time. Excellent. Now, Tamblyn ji, 2 tips from your side. You mentioned about Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raj Yoga, doing what is enough, search inside, and many profound things you mentioned. Let me ask where to begin with.
Your breath. Recognize that your breath is the essence of who you are, rather than what you see in the mirror, or rather than what you think of others and yourself. Because from your breath, when you are more intimate in your relationship and appreciation of that, then you recognize that energy that is coming in and out of us is a shared experience, it's a shared value, it's a shared energy. And that helps potentially to develop a little more empathy for ourselves and for others, and to recognize that there shouldn't be a hierarchy because we all are sharing this same energy. So start with the breath.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Jessica ji has already told hierarchy is Maya. Maya appears but does not exist. Yes, Jaymala ji. Your two things as a tip to generate Karma Yogi leadership.
I'm really drawn towards what Yogi Andre shared. Be nothing. That's the first step. I guess I would reinstate that. Drop the ego. We've been talking about ego being the culprit of desire for hierarchy, power. And when you drop this, it allows you to enter your samskaras. We draw inwards, the swadhyaya. It allows us to see the second step, that from which place am I interacting with my environment? And the more you do that, the less there is need to do anything. You feel one with everyone.
Action items, not elaborations. Action item. One, do nothing. Second.
Yes. Be nothing, study self. Swadhyaya.
Study and serve. Perfect. So, dear friends who are and who will be watching us from different parts of the world, we had an amazing panel discussion with scholars from different parts of the world. And we saw regarding this, Andre Ji defined Karma Yoga as yoga. Karma does not mean only act. It means every thought, every feeling, every word, every action is Karma Yoga. So it starts with your mind. If your mind is quiet, then it will reflect in the body, and a quiet mind can take right decision, and right decision is the heart of leadership. And if you take right decision, you'll be happy. Then Andre Ji mentioned that thinking and time, they coexist. Time, when you talk about time bound goals, and then such time bound goals like SDGs and others, they create success and failure. When one person becomes successful, lots of them become failure or loser. So from where to begin? Andre Ji said, one, forget any goal. Means if you forget the goal, what is left with? The process. So he said, focus on the process. Second, forget being the leader, remove all the labels of gender, ethnicity, power, position, and whatever is left is what you are. Remove the labels of limited identity, be a nobody. Then you don't have to carry your own burden of your own ego. Profound. Jessica ji said that submerge your will with divine will. And what is divine will? She said, listen to your conscience, the Ishvara within. Ishvara sarva bhuteshu hridaya deshe arjuna tishtati. Krishna says, life affirming, no ego, no vasana, that exists, self-existence. And how to align with it? Three things she said. First, tapas. Give your 100%. Swadhyaya, review whatever you have done in your word, speech, and action. What could have been done better? And third is Ishvara Pranadhana. Give your best in tapas and leave the rest in Ishvara Pranadhana. Whatever is not in control, that's also is called Kriya Yoga more popularly in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Tamblyn ji mentioned that conventional leadership is connected with power, distrust, win, lose. But if you talk about Karma Yoga, it is important to detach from ego, trust, and play win-win. How to begin with that? He said, control the controllable. You can't control external environment all the time. You can control the internal environment. Start from yourself. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raj Yoga can be the ways you can start. Search inside. Environment does not define you. So how to begin? He said, focus on breath. You have to give one breath in order to take one breath. We coexist. And because we coexist, it's a shared existence. You'll generate empathy because I cannot exist without you. That's as it is said in Ubuntu in Africa. We coexist. I can't exist without you. And when there will be coexistence, there won't be any hierarchy as such. Jaymala ji mentioned that action is just a means. You can't control the results. And that's why she also gave importance to control the controllables. And then she said, servant leadership makes you understand that your purpose of being here is to serve. It is a leela. Know your purpose of life, come here and experience. And how to experience this leela happily? This is the purpose of our Kazar body, she said. One, be nothing, because we are too tiny or we are too magnificent, if you see different prospectively, to think ourselves in limited identities. Do swadhyaya and focus on what you can contribute in making a better world. Lok Sangraha. I'm sure people who are watching us from different parts of the world who will be watching will be benefited with this discussion as I was benefited. Thank you very much, Andre ji. Lots of hugs and loves to you. Pranams to you. Tamblyn ji, thank you. Thank you, Jessica ji, and thank you, Jaymala ji. And let's remain in touch. Pranam.